Hello po, magandang araw po sa inyo. Welcome po sa bago nating series dito sa Coffee with Kai. It's called Meet Our Expert. We want you to get to know the members of our expert panel so that you can relate with them more and you know why they're also working with us dito sa Hello Doctor, aligned with our mission to democratize health and wellness knowledge and services. So, opening salvo po natin para sa series na to is someone super special to me. I don't have a sister, but she's like the sister I never had. I've known her since 2020, no, sa midst ng pandemic. Nagbigay ng blessing ang universe by sending her my way. Nagkita talaga kami dun sa mental health advocacy, no. They interviewed me for Alaga Health and then nag-meet kami dun sa mental health advocacy. And then, syempre, perfect din to greet her happy birthday because her birthday is this month, this April. So let us all welcome Dr. Via Roderos. Hi, Doc V.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Good day po to everyone who's watching us. And I would just like to greet a happy morning or a good day to my beautiful host, Miss Sky, who's ever fresh. No? And gaya nga ng sinabi niya na I have been a blessing for her. Pero yung totoo po niyan, si Miss Kai yung naging blessing not only for me but also for the people around me and the people that I have worked with. So I'm very honored and privileged to be invited to this endeavor, this initiative.
Okay, so Doc V, kwento ka na. We want to know your story. Who is Via Lucille Roderos?
Actually, kanina may answer na ako dun eh. Sa question na yan. Just a small town girl, gano'n. Pero totoo, I'm really from a very quaint city, no, a growing city, the city of love. No? I'm from Iloilo, actually. I was born and raised there. And one of the things that I usually boast about Ilonggos, no, is that they're very malambing. No? Pero, sabi ko nga, with all the Ilonggos out there, no, lahat sila matatapang. So probably that's another thing that I can best describe myself. No? From a very humble beginning po ako, no? I am a daughter of a homemaker and a seafarer po. So, I pursued my college degree and my medical studies here in Manila. Pero yung formative years ko po sa Iloilo. So, ano po talaga ako? Ilongga Gid, no? And one of the things that I probably can say about myself is that I am not sure if I am capable of giving, pero one of the things I wanted to do going to Manila is I have, with everything that I am and with everything that my parents had taught me, I want to be able to give it to the people that I'm going to be encountering. So siguro yon, Miss Sky, probably a little bit about myself. Nahiya ako eh. Pero I have 3 sisters. Actually, hindi. Yung isa brother, kasi hindi, anak ko pala yun. Anak ko pala si Cole. No? I have a dog named Cole. He's a half Japanese Spitz and half German Shepherd, which is a weird combination. Siyempre, mas marami pa akong kinwento about Cole than my sisters. No? I have a sister who she's 23. She's turning 23 just this July. And I have a sister who is 10 years old. No? So, minsan napagkakamalan akong nanay ng sisters ko. Si Viel yung pinaka-youngest, si Yen yung second. And then when I was young, no, my parents taught me na we're not from a very well-off family kasi my parents worked hard and they sacrificed a lot for education, no. Pinagsikapan nila na mabigyan kami ng brighter future, no, given that they had to work hard also for what they accomplished in their life. So, hindi po kami from a very rich family. Si papa ko po nagsusweldo, nagpapadala ng sweldo for us to be able to meet our needs. And sabi ng parents ko, we might not have enough, pero yung mapapamanan lang nila sa amin, wala man silang pwedeng ipamanang um, riches, no? One thing that they can give us is, education and good quality education. So from the get-go, it was instilled to me that I have to do well in my studies. No? So when I was in kindergarten, no, palagi yan, my mom was really my, kumbaga, jockey. No? She would always tell me na, anak, you have to be in the top three. No? I was kinder
Mm.
at that time. No? So, for example, if my mom said na, if I get second honors in class, sabi niya, anak, you have to do well para first honor ka next time. Okay lang second honor, pero dapat first honor ka palagi. No? So, that actually develop, my drive to be able to not only excel in studies, but to excel in whatever I do. Na you don't go to something that is half-baked. No? You have to give all your effort to that. So that was stamped dun talaga sa mind ko when as I was growing up. No? And then, elementary ako, no, I graduated valedictorian of my class, although that doesn't matter now. um,
Nice.
but that one was that one I wouldn't have made that, I wouldn't have accomplished all of that if not for my parents who have taught me a lot of things as well. And come high school, hindi ko na experience yung proper yung normal high school na syempre nagkwento na ako ng buhay ko. Ano maalala mo kaya? Hindi ko na-experience yung high school na I got to go out with friends. Not because I was pressured, but because because of my upbringing na talaga, na in whatever I do, I have to do it well. No? And for me to be able to get into a good school when I'm in college to prepare for my future, I have to do well because it's my stepping stone. So I was working hard, studying, burning the midnight oil. So, di nga ako nagka-boyfriend. There was one time, Miss Kyle, alam mo ba? I had like some sort of a crush to I had a crush, no? Na-meet ko siya in one of the activities ng high school. Tapos, one of the things that I noticed was that after we parted ways, ako sana ito makita ni Mama, we exchanged numbers. So, ganun. Parang yun lang ata yung semblance ng pagka-high school ko. We exchanged numbers. And then, I noticed na mas marami pa akong time na spend texting him, no? Texting him back. And then, every time my phone rings, no? I always get it, which was unusual for me. So parang, wait, teka lang, hindi ko nabuksan hindi ko natapos yung goal ko na aralin for today. You know what I did? And this is bad talaga, Miss Kaino. I didn't know what ghosted meant, but I did it when I was in high school. So I just, deleted his number because I was so scared. And then, just forgot about him. Then after 5 days, syempre, I did not, I deleted this number. Hindi ko naman memorize eh. He texted me and then sabi niya, hey, how are you? Sabi ko, who's this? Sabi niya, hey, did you forget already? Ganun na ba ako ka-forgettable? Sabi niya, I just shunned him. Parang, that was really bad, no? Pero kasi that's how focused I was in my studies, which was, I don't know if it was healthy also, pero probably yun yung pinaka-semblance ng high school. So that's really bad. No? Mga kids, wag niyo pong tularan yung ghosting. If you want to, break it to someone gently, you can tell them, wag niyo po silang i-ghost. You have to tell them properly because it's also not fair to them. And I realized that now. So I never really had a boyfriend. No? My first and only, sorry, my first and only boyfriend is Doc Dex. And probably I'll make kwento later. I'll share it with everyone na lang. Kasi naiya pa ako. Pero I'm so sorry, Sir Justin. Na victim siya ng ghosting. No? And on behalf of everyone who did it, I apologize talaga kasi it was really bad. So yun, after I finished my high school in Iloilo, I was very blessed to be awarded yung mga distinctions. No, I've been very blessed, no, to have seen Miriam Defensor Santiago. He was our commencement speaker before during high school. And then I had seen, she was, in terms of her academic prowess and her she's my talaga. She was the epitome of for me of academic excellence, no? So natuwa ako na yung in-award na parang distinction kay Miriam in my high school kasi same po kami ng high school ni Miriam. I graduated from a public science high school. And yung award ni Miriam before na all-around girl, yun ata yung name ng award. It was given to me. So parang feel ko naman Miriam Defensor Santiago ako, di ba?
Nice.
Parang, pero hindi lumebel yung talino ko kay Miriam. Iba talaga yung talino ni Miriam. Pero it was actually a validation that I might be doing something right. So because of that, no, because of how my parents disciplined me, how my family disciplined me, I was blessed to have been awarded scholarships in college and med school as well, no. But I have been thankful not only to my family but also to the friends who have helped me, encouraged me to really pursue that. Very close ako sa extended family ko. So my extended family is my mamang, my 3 titas who are not married. Kaya inisip ko before na baka hindi rin ako mag-asawa.
We'll join the club.
Yeah. Single blessedness. Sorry, I have a doc dex na. Pero for single blessed people, it's okay, you're blessed, you're amazing. Wag yung yung love hindi nahahanap niya. Ala. Sorry, this is so candid talaga, Miss Kai. Wala sense of professionalism, pero this is how I am really with my friends, with the people that are very close to me.
Doc, yung medicine, diba, when we are kids, parang we already kind of dream of what we want to become or what we want to do. Was it always medicine? Parang why did you pursue medical studies, and or if not a doctor, what would you have become?
Okay. Where will I start answering that question? Sige, I will start siguro. Kasi when we were in preschool, may parang mini graduation kami. May mga speeches, no? So, naalala ko yung speech ko was about, me wanting to be a pediatrician in the future. Of course, right now, I didn't pursue that career po. Pero kahit pa paano po naging doktor po ako. No? So, siguro at that time, I was always thinking about being a doctor. When you were 6 years old, you might not have realized what that meant yet. No? Probably at that time, you still have the same reason as everyone else. No? Really helping people, making people get better, helping people get better. That's it, no? Pero that's the foundation kasi of all of your aspirations in life when you were little. Pero yun, Miss Kai, maraming twists and turns yun. Kasi when I was in college, yung dream school ko po talaga is UP. And awa ng Diyos naman po, nakapasa naman po ako ng UP Diliman. Pero po yung course ko po dun is applied physics. So, love ko po talaga kasi yung hardcore sciences. So, I would have been probably an astrophysicist. Pero if not po, I would have been a preschool teacher because I also like kids, or a chef. But
Right.
you will really go where the wind will take you. So dito po ako napadpad, no? But if you're strong and if you're very much grounded with what you want to do and your cause, it will really take you to where you're supposed to be. So doon po bumalik po. Ano nga yung saying na yun, Miss Kai? Mahaba man ang prosesyon sa simbahan pa rin nakarating. Whatever gusto yun, no? Doon pa rin po ako nakarating na sa pagiging doktor pa rin. So but the reasons for that evolved because of the things that we had also experienced. I had also personally experienced yung mga hardships, yung being in a system that's very unjust for people who cannot afford to pay for healthcare. Those were some of the reasons. Probably I can detail them later on if ever I have the chance. No? Pero one pivotal factor for in solidifying that for me talaga no, was my formation in Ateneo. Um, Parang for Ateneans kasi what they do and what they always say is that down the hill we go, no? Parang we have to go downhill because all of the teachings here in Ateneo will help you, you know, uh, make your communities better, even for just a little bit. Yung nangyari sa akin, baliktad, parang I came from downhill and I went up, no? What I realized is that, you know, you shouldn't um, palagi kasing notion na when you are in a very unfortunate situation, you cannot escape that and it's gonna just cycle. I want to be able to break that, no? Kasi I have been uphill, no, coming from downhill. Um, and there are things to make there are things that you can do to make it better talaga, especially for your patient. So very pivotal po yung naging formation ko po sa Ateneo to solidify my cause of becoming not only a doctor but a health professional.
Okay. As a doctor, Doc V, you always introduce yourself as a primary care physician, no? And why did you choose, at least for the time being, diba, to be a primary care physician? Let's educate viewers who think that someone who specializes in a particular field is better, no, than the primary care doctor or the GP, for example. So yun, Doc, why primary care?
Alright. And this has been, you know, this has been a stigma actually for general physicians, especially for those who chose not to pursue specialist a field in a clinical setting, because for the longest time, no, we have been exposed, or our culture is really geared towards, you know, having to go to a specialist for a certain kind of illness. Like for example, pag sumakit yung tiyan, punta agad sa gastro. Pag sumakit yung dibdib, punta agad sa cardio, no? One of the things that made me do primary care, no, is really you cannot go to step 2 without going to step 1, no? You have to go through it in a way that when you bypass a certain step, no, there might be something that you lose in the process, no. One of the things that we are championing for, especially for those professionals, those doctors who do not pursue further studies in the clinical field, is that, you know, that notion of hindi na sila pwedeng mapuntahan ng pasyente dahil baka wala naman, hindi naman sila as bihasa, no, as the you know, those who specialize, no. I think of it like an like an army, probably, no. The specialists are your kumbaga Navy SEALs, no, yung nasa special force sila. They are deployed to execute a function that is very much geared, or that will very much ensure that there is success in that mission. So para po yung mga specialists, no, we go to them for highly you know, disease specific conditions, no. But you know, in the same way po na, for example, it's a complaint that might not be life threatening, your general physicians po can treat in a way that a specialist can do as well, no? So kasi po lahat po kami gagraduate as general physicians. Lahat po kami general physicians. It just so happened na sila po ay nag-pursue ng further studies, no? Kumbaga, kumuha po sila ng masteral sa ibang field. Kami po, well, for my case po, I'm planning to pursue, you know, public administration because it's something that I would like to do also. My work talaga, siguro I fell in love also with my passion is research, but I fell in love with the process of looking into research for the use of policy making, no, to make
Mhm.
lives of people better. I started that with health, but as we know, lahat po, tulad ng katawan natin, lahat connected. Yung lahat po ng aspeto connected din po sa health, and that's why I'm very much, I'm very much really inclined to do primary care, because one of the things I wanted to do is to be able to make living conditions better. Kasi nagamot mo nga yung patient mo, uuwi naman siya sa isang situation that made him sick in the first place. No? So,
Mhm.
that's something that I would want to pursue more. No, it's not that one specialization is better than the other. We each have a role to play in this world, no, in this universe. May mga role po, may mga halagang gampanin po tayo dito sa mundong ibabaw, no, na it might not be clear for us, no, but in all of our experiences, it will give us a little bit of that clarity. So sa akin po, ang dami ko ring struggles with that actually. Choosing primary care, choosing to pursue this instead of going into residency. Na ngayon po, si mama ko po pa rin ay pursuing to pushing me to go there. Sana hindi niya makita. No? Pero yeah, I had to explain to her na, ma, this is where I'm good at. This is where I'm called, no? Because it really is, it is the intersection of what you're good at, um, where you're most needed, and what can help you live. So it's really that. For me, it's going into primary care, going into health policy. That's the ikigai that I have. That's that intersection. And your
Okay.
parents will understand. People will understand that. You just have to do well. Just put all of your effort siguro in what you do.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not their fault because of how they were also raised.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
the way you honor your parents is for you to live your best life, not their
Yeah.
best life, but yours, right? And
Um,
then when they see
lahat,
that, diba,
yeah.
that's progress eh. That's progress generational sa
Mm-mm.
generation. So,
You really
yeah,
You really can
super
blame them,
grateful.
Miss Kai, kasi your parents are just worrying about you eh. I mean, gusto
Yes.
lang nila na, pag-iwan ka nila sa mundo, you're in a good position. And sometimes, hindi they communicate it in a way that you might not understand, but you have to think about it also na baka hindi rin natin na-communicate well with them given the
Correct.
gap. That's something that I want to also, apart from, primary care, I also want to work on. Kasi, same lang naman kayo ng goal eh, to make everything better. Especially since their parents, so they're people who might be, kasi I know, yung iba talaga yung pressure eh. It's
Mhm.
difficult, pero, their parents, you have to give them that little bit of understanding na hindi nila gustong maging kontrabida sa life mo. They just want to make your life, they just want to make it better talaga because they worry about you. Yun. Asan
Yeah.
na tayo ba
So,
yung conversation natin?
tama, sakto lang kasi so Daddy, Mommy Roderos, kung mapanood po ninyo to, thank you po for the way you raised Doc V. We really love her, no, dito sa Hello Doctor, pati nung team, pati yung mga readers, yung viewers namin sa Kumu, and magbabalik na yung mga shows ng Alaga Health that we're also excited about, okay? So, as a primary care physician, Doc V, you are often invited by the media, no, to appear on television or digital streaming, and even not just by the media but different organizations including learning institutions to speak, 'di ba? So, and a lot of people might think that you always get paid for it. People don't know that it's an extension of the public service you render. Kami po talagang tulong nila Doc B sa amin yung weekly na kumusta Doc, no, for example. So why do you do that? Parang what fulfillment do you get out of that part of your work?
Actually, it's a ano din, ano ba? It's a wish fulfillment din. Kasi, for the longest time, I have been very insecure with speaking. Kahit nga ngayon, parang tinatanong ko pa yung mga sila, Doc Dex, Did I do okay? Was it okay ba? Did I stutter? Did I ano? Kasi, I was raised na parang, you really have to be able to speak well. Kasi, if you don't, you might not be understood by a lot of people. You might not influence them. So parang naging wish fulfillment na rin siya na every time I would speak, it's a way for me to get better, no? But the reason why I'm doing it, tama po si Miss Kai, yung mga speaking engagements po, it's something that I really do, without any monetary compensation. I am very honored to be invited by them. Minsan nga, I would always ask hanggang ngayon na, why are they inviting me? Parang ganun, parang, but it's a really an honor to be able to speak. Probably siguro kasi madaldal din po ako, and it's my way also of, sometimes kasi when you're alone in your place na wala kang kadaldalan, gusto mo na, especially someone as daldal as me, gusto mo na rin dumaldal na lang. But kidding aside, it's my way also of letting people know about what we do. It's a way of reaching out to people. No? There was a time before I also asked myself, gusto ko po bang maging doktor? Especially during the time when I was doing hospital duty. But there was a time where I realized that I wanted it because I wanted to be able to reach out to more people, to be able to talk to people, to be able to know what their pain points are, what's making it difficult for them, and helping them find an answer. Not really, answering it for them, but empowering them to answer the problem that they're currently facing. So it's something that I realized I love doing, and that's one of the reasons why I accept, and it's an honor, a privilege for me to be invited to talks, to webinars. No? Sana po ay may natutunan din sila kahit papaano.
Oo naman.
There is that notion always, Miss Kai, of, did I really do well? Parang ganun. But, sometimes you have to be kind to ourselves, and baka naman may nagawa ka naman talagang mali, but you keep on learning naman with all the experience. Pero yun po, that's the reason really why I'm doing it. Hindi ko po yung ginagawa for any money. It's purely for reaching out to people, also knowing, kasi minsan the questions I actually learn from a lot of questions from people who attend webinars. Meaning ito yung mga iniisip nila about this topic. So it helps you also look into possibilities of how you can reach out, or how you can get in touch, or how you can relate to them more. Parang ganun.
Okay. Thanks, Doc V. I think naman dahil marami kang repeat invites, that says a lot about you. Being an expert on the matter is not the same as being good at communicating about the subject matter. No? So that says a lot about you. All right. Okay, let's go to the fun fact. I wanted to highlight, but maybe that's for the Mental Health Awareness Month na lang in May. No? That you're also a mental health advocate. We're gonna talk about that in May, yung ating happy hour. Malapit na rin pong magbalik. Pero maybe share with us one thing about you that not a lot of people know. Doc V.
Ano ba? Not a lot of people know.
My cat McGonagall says hi.
Hi,
Kanina pa siya.
McGonagall. Do you know you're my favorite Harry Potter character? Si Professor McGonagall. Hi!
Yeah. Ay, nako.
Fun fact. Ano ba? I like wrestling. My favorite actually, yung gusto kong i-meet sa buhay ko talaga would be Michelle Obama, number 1. Number 2, Undertaker. na i-induct na on my birthday na hindi man lang ako makapunta ng Dallas because of it, because of what the things I have to do. Pero okay lang. There might be a chance for me to meet him. Sana, ano. Yung ultimate goal ko talaga in life is to like ask Undertaker to do an entrance. And sorry, nag-ano na ako about wrestling. But nahilig ako doon when I was 5 actually, I watched wrestling before. Sila The Rock pa yan, Attitude Era, yan sila, yung kapanahunan nila Triple H, yeah. But nag-wane siya siguro my mom took control of the remote then, and you know, studies also, pero it came back, you know, because yun yung bonding namin ni Doc Dex, you know, watching wrestling. And ano pa ba, what are other, one lang, no, okay na yun.
Yeah. Oh, we will get to know you better kasi marami pa naman tayong mga kwentuhan dito sa Hello Doctor. Siguro to close lang this first episode of our Meet Our Expert series, what is your message to our viewers, Doc V? Aside from, syempre, those who already know you, but maybe those who do not know you yet, di ba? Parang, is there anything you want to tell them?
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank Hello Doctor, and especially to Miss Kai, and the rest of the team, Sir Justin, Miss Bianchi, everyone, sila Sir Dexter, for giving me an opportunity to not only speak with you today, but also to work with a very amazing team, a team that's not only grounded in excellent work, but putting heart, putting their love and their beliefs, their principles in what they do. So I'm very honored and privileged to be working with Hello Doctor. No, and one of the things that I wanted to always tell siguro my patients and for those who are watching us, probably as someone who is now recognized, and grateful to have been recognized as an expert, for those who might not have been might have doubts, of getting to where they will be, or where they envision themselves, one of the things that I can probably part you with is that in whatever you do, be it as for some people, and a simple activity might be mundane, pero kahit na ano pa yan, kahit na I saw this skit before na there was someone who just does hairstyle, cuts hair for a living, but he does it so excellently that people go to him for it. So in whatever you do, do it excellently means doing it with your mind, setting your mind into accomplishing what needs to be done, putting your heart, your vision, your principle as to why you want to do that, and always remembering the privilege that you have, given that opportunity to work with whatever field that you are in. So that will actually make your life more meaningful, especially when you talk about careers, but in terms of health and in terms of anything really, yes, we can always ensure that we should make our work or achieve excellence in whatever we do, but excellence is also achieved as a community. Actually, it's easier when you work towards excellence as one community. So don't be afraid to ask for help, don't be afraid to ask questions. There are people who are willing to help, even your experts, like doctors cannot do everything. So we also need the help of the expertise of others. So each and every one of us has their own role that can contribute to the betterment of the community as well. So, wag po tayong mahiyang humingi ng tulong, ask help, from our experts, from the people around us, and just live life with a lot of smile and a lot of love in our hearts. Yun lang. Yeah. I hope that's
Thank you,
okay.
Doc V. Of
Yeah.
course, of course. So that wraps up our first episode in our Meet Our Expert series. We know that after watching this, you feel closer to Doc Via, who is not just part of our expert panel, but is actually one of our medical editors. No, so Doc Via is helping check all the articles that you read on Hello Doctor. Hindi lang po yung details, even yung how we write para alam mo yon tama yung pagkaka-communicate sa inyo about a certain topic or a disease no or a condition. So until our next episode, kung meron po kayong mga tanong about Doc V, send yun lang sa amin, makakarating po sa kanya. But until our next episode next week, this has been Kai Magsano, Country Lead of Hello Doctor Philippines. Doc Via, thank you again.
Thank you, Miss Kai. Thank you very much. Keep being
Okay.
wonderful.
Thank you, thank you. And until then, stay well. Bye-bye.